So these are the 6 logos we're going to create today. Each of these logos is applying the contrast principle. So back to our blank canvas. I'm going to come along here and I need to type in Zig Designs. This one here, I'm using bold on the Zig, and I've made the designs a lighter grey. On my tools over here, I've got the text tool. Now there's 2 different types that you can use. If I select that, drag a box, I can type in Zig Designs. Now if I want to change any of that, you can see I've got this big box here. Nothing happens when I move this box. If I go smaller, it doesn't fit, it will disappear. To change any of this text, I need to come up here and manually change my sizes. I can bring this down here. I can click on the character. I can change my tracking, which increases the space between the text. I can change my horizontal scale or even my vertical scale to finely tune the text to get the text that I want. The other option is point text. So again, I choose that text tool, click anywhere on that screen, type in Zig Designs, go back to my selection tool. If I select the corner here, I can then drag that and get any size combination that I want. If I didn't want to scale up and down, just wanted to go left and right, I can do that by just clicking on the side and make that text stretch across that page like so. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those. I'm going to choose a text tool. In this particular case, I'm going to use a text window that goes all the way across. I'm going to type in Zig Designs. I want to select that Zig there, change that to bold, and on my designs I'm going to come over here to my swatches and choose a light grey. Now, because I've got my contrasting text here, I can actually delete that space there and it's still recognizable that that's 2 separate words. Choose my center alignment. Holding control, I press A, it'll select all that text, and I'm going to make that about size 36. Back to my select tool, I can then drag this down and find somewhere on that page where it looks about center. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to type in the Zig Designs Graphic and Creative Solutions with the blue background. So I'm going to choose my text tool. Now it's remembered that I was in bold and what size I was using. I'm going to change this back to regular. Drag a window and type in Zig Designs all in lowercase. Now you can see here, this one here, it is stretched across that full page. As I've used my text area type, I'll need to come up here to character and change in my tracking so that text fills up that window. I can come to this drop down here and choose some predefined numbers or hold that in until I get the desired result. Next thing I want to do is add a backdrop to that before I change that to white. So over here in my shapes tool, I press and hold that, I get a whole menu. I'm going to choose rectangle and I'm going to draw a rectangle over that. It's defaulted to black. Over here I want to choose this blue there, and I still can't see my text. What I need to do is right click on that, choose arrange, and I'm going to send that to back. It's now behind my text. Choose my select tool, select that text, and up here I'm going to change it to white. I can also change the color up here if I want to. If I click on that down arrow, I can choose any one of these colors and it will update. I'll turn that back to white. Next thing I need to do is add in some more text. So now I'm going to choose my text box tool again, create a window, start typing in graphic and creative solutions, and you can see I can't actually see my text because my font size is too big for my box. If I hit Control A to so if I use my select tool to select that box, I can come up here and change that font size to 12, and you can see it now fits in there. It's also remembered my settings earlier. In my character box, it's still set at 161 tracking, so I can click on that, change that to 0. Select that text first, try that again, click on character, change that to 0, and it returns it back to normal type. So that's the downside to using that text box tool as opposed to text point. So I'm going to bring that down, it's all lined up. Get back in here. My horizontal scale is 110, so I'm going to reset that to 100. And that logo is now complete. Next one I want to do is a simple ZD on Zig Designs. So my artboard here is over on my right. To move that in my view, I can press and hold space and it selects the hand tool, left click and drag that into view. Now this one has a blue background as well. I'm going to go back to my blank ones here. I've already created a blue square, so I could draw that again, or I can select it first. I'm pressing and holding down Alt, I've got my duplicate tool, so I can now click and drag that over, and I've duplicated that shape. I'm going to choose my text tool. This time I'm going to use point text, and I'm going to type in ZD. Use my selection tool to back out of that. Choose my type tool again, point type. I'm going to type in Zig Designs, and choose that selection tool again. You can see here my ZD is white, so I'll select that, choose white, and then I'm going to start changing the size to get the size suiting each other. I'm holding down Shift to keep the uniform scaling. Move that up there. And that's looking about right there. So now if I click on that Zig Designs, hold down Shift, press the ZD, I've got those both selected now. Go up to Object and choose Group. I can now move those as one unit. Again, I'm going to hold down Shift and select that blue background. And up here in my alignment options, I'm going to choose to horizontally align them center and to vertically align them center. That's now put that directly in the middle of my business card.